Despite having Ursula von der Leyen and the rest of the European Union coming out to publicly say that we are now officially friends and allies and partners with Britain, they came hand in hand with Rishi Sunak to announce the Windsor framework and hugged each other, shook hands, smiled in front of cameras because we are now equal partners. Yes, but in reality, we have some update for you guys in this video showing that the European Union, behind our backs, they're doing the exact opposite. Yes, in the European Parliament and the Commission, they've been having certain meetings and discussions, and they have now signed a new mechanism against Britain. This is absolutely disgusting what's going on here. So, these people and all these MEPs that you see in this photo, for example, Sean Kelly, who's an MEP from the Republic of Ireland and leader of Fine Gael in the European Parliament and the EPP group, this guy proudly had a meeting with the bureaucrats in Brussels, and they came up with an idea to sign a new mechanism to force Britain to implement the new Brexit deal, the Windsor framework. They've said, if you don't do it, we will be punishing you, literally threatening us with their trade barriers and everything else. So Sean Kelly tweeted, "Today, we signed into law a regulation empowering the European Commission to impose trade restrictions should the UK breach its obligations on the post-Brexit trading agreements." This is about the Windsor framework, if we don't actually implement it. With the EU and the UK relations in a better place, this is a mechanism that I hope we never have to use. What? So you can't say, hey, yeah, we all trust each other now. It's a good relationship. We literally have a contract. And we really hope that we don't have to use this. Don't use it. You already have a treaty. It's a treaty bound by your so-called international law. I mean, that's a whole different problem considering the European Court of Justice is the independent referee in this situation. But why did you have to add this new thing to it? Considering it was already a contract as a treaty. So Martin Daubney actually said, the first shot in the EU-UK trade war has been fired as Irish MEPs cozy up to Brussels and threaten sanctions and tariffs against the UK. The EU always wanted to punish us on the way out, to set an example to other member states. And these Irish politicians are their accomplices. Absolutely spot on from Martin Daubney on this issue, because we did say that there had to be some sort of mechanism for the EU, for their own sake, from their own perspective, to stop EU member states from leaving after Brexit. So it makes sense for them to punish us, but they lie. They come out publicly to sign all these agreements and say we want to help Britain. We have all these new ideas to work together, but they do the exact opposite behind closed doors. I would rather if they are straight to our face and say you voted to leave the EU. It was your idea, and we're not going to give you any trade deal. We have to protect our own integrity. I'll be fine with that. At least you know where you stand with them. That's more honest. And we have to then make up our mind what to do as an independent Britain, global Britain. Go out there and sign other trade deals with other countries. And also all these European countries and governments and companies would know after a while that they need us more than we need them, because they're going to be selling all the nonsense to us. So they will come back anyway. But they lied and lied and lied until we got to this point. Now, Rishi Sunak's Brexit deal shackles Britain, according to the ERG, the European Research Group. These are the pro-Brexit Tory MPs. The report that they were waiting to get the details now officially come out. We reported on this earlier today, that the ERG have been waiting for the conclusion of their own investigation to get their lawyers to read the Windsor framework. And the vote that's going to be on Wednesday in Parliament on Rishi Sunak's new Brexit agreement is going to be a bit problematic for the establishment, because the ERG on the one hand, the pro-Brexit Tory MPs are now against it, but they're not the only group, because the DUP are also against it, although they've said that they're probably going to be abstaining instead of actually voting against it, which is a bit of a weak and feeble move, which could actually help Rishi Sunak, because abstention is not the same as voting against. As long as Rishi has enough votes in favour of the deal would still get approved, and the DUP will be responsible for not actually speaking out properly against it. Now, I'm still obviously on the side of the DUP when it comes to the concerns of people in Northern Ireland, but Donaldson, as the leader of the DUP, he has to make up his mind. Is he going to actually be rejecting the deal? Or he could change his mind and say, yeah, we're just going to support it. And obviously, they're going to lose a lot of support in Northern Ireland. But you can't really sit on the fence on this issue anymore. You have to make up your mind. Now, Hillary Clinton is the latest addition of Americans to come to make a bit of an intervention for absolutely no reason. Who are you? Why are you even getting involved? Hillary Clinton has now come out and said she hopes that the Brexit deal would resolve the Northern Ireland Protocol issue, and she's come out to put pressure on our MPs and establishment to vote for it and implement the Windsor Agreement. Why? Because it's St. Patrick's Day? You already had Joe Biden as president, who shouldn't really make interventions when it comes to other people's domestic policies. He came out to put pressure on us, Britain. Now we have Hillary Clinton. Why is she even talking? Why is she even doing things anymore? I'm not really sure what the plan is. Is it some sort of secret plan to slowly phase out Joe Biden and bring back Hillary Clinton as the next candidate? If it is, I'm going to get very excited because it's going to be quite fun, especially if you have Trump coming back as candidate and Hillary. Oh, that's going to be juicy. Anyway, let me know what you think of this whole nonsense. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.